myself. I'm Lau Mohey. My surname is Lau. I'm now a retired citizen. I used to be a civil servant, an army officer, an NGO leader, as well as an academic. At one time, I was a visiting professor at the University of Toronto in Canada. And apart from that, I did a research fellow at the Institute of Southeast Asian Studies in Singapore, and my last posting was in Hong Kong as a senior researcher. The topic I would like to talk about is Cambodia in the Asia-Pacific geostrategy. But I would like to say that I'm not a specialist. What I'm going to talk about in summary is just an observation by a casual observation of events unfolding in the West Pacific area that known as the Asia Pacific. Not just based on any thorough academic research. What I'm going to talk is the new strategy of the United States in the Asia-Pacific region. The second point is the importance of the South China Sea. The third point is the relationships between Cambodia, America, Vietnam, and China. And finally, in this strategy, what is the position of Cambodia? Actually, to start off with, Cambodia and the fate of Cambodia has been dependent very much on events outside its border, that is, events in the region. In the past, it was affected by the Vietnam War, by the conflict between Vietnam and China, by the conflict between China and the Soviet Union, and by the Cold War between the West and the communist world. Eventually, in 1970, it was sucked in and engulfed in the Vietnam War, which was extended to its territory, and as a result, Cambodia has tremendously suffered from that war. So Cambodia needs to be vigilant, to be careful about events in the region based on lessons from the past. Now that China is becoming a big power, not simply a regional power, a world power, and it is perceived as a threat to different countries in this part of the world. And also this power, the right to power, affects also the strategic interests of another big power, that is America, which has now paid more interest in the Asia Pacific region. There's been efforts to form a coalition between concerned countries in the region to contain China. This is an application of the sort of Cold War policy and strategy of containment of China, so as to limit, contain its threat in the region and beyond. So America has is renewed its strategic alliance with different countries in the region, from Korea down to Japan, to Australia, some countries in Southeast Asia, and even reaching out to India. All these countries have their own strategic interests in limiting or containing the influence or the threat of China. Some of these countries have been American old allies: South Korea, Japan, the Philippines, Thailand, and Australia. So now we have an arc stretching from Korea down to Japan, down to Southeast Asia, Australia, and extended to India to contain China. China recently and Japan have had conflicts over the sovereignty of some islands in the East China Sea. China has had conflicts with some Southeast Asian countries over the sovereignty of the South China Sea, or part of that sea, that is in conflict with the Philippines, Vietnam in particular, over some islands, especially the Spratly Islands, and between Vietnam and China over the Paracel Island. Lately, there have been sort of clashes between the Chinese Navy and the Philippine Navy, and also with the Vietnamese Navy in South China Sea, and these clashes sent a signal, additional signal to the outside world, especially to the countries in the region, that indeed China is posing a real threat, and measures need to be taken to contain this China threat. The South China Sea has a strategic for the South China Sea is important strategically for many countries, not only the country in the region, but other countries as well, because the region is an important sea lane that many countries are dependent upon for navigation and for sea transport, especially not only all the merchandise, but also vital commodities such as petrol, oil, and gas. America and Cambodia is having just a sort of military relations, not only just diplomatic relations. Both countries have organized joint military exercises for a number of years already, not only involving troops from the two countries, but also from the American allies in the region as well. One can wonder whether this kind of relationship and characterized by military exercises can violate the Cambodian constitution, which prescribes neutrality, permanent neutrality, and prohibit any military alliance with any country in the world. But Cambodia and Vietnam, since 1979, have had very close relations. They are, the two countries seem to have undertaken an unequal sort of friendship, in the sense that Vietnam seems to have, to put it mildly, influence on Cambodia. Both countries have had relations at all levels of administration, party-to-party relations, government to government relations, state institutions to state institutions, even civil society organization to civil society organization. Especially in the border region, province to province, that kind of relation. And furthermore, there's more and more presence of Vietnamese national and also companies in Cambodia, which to some Cambodian is perceived as a threat to national sovereignty. It seems that Cambodia has been trying to get China and use it as a countervailing power against Vietnam, to neutralize Vietnam's influence. But it seems that more and more this kind of relationships with China turn out to be one between two unequal countries, not from the point of view of sheer size, power, economic power, and all that, but in terms of China using Cambodia to serve its own interests. Actually, we can say that China is buying off Cambodia to side with itself, with China. Cambodia represents to China an important strategic interest. So, because of the sort of strained relationship between China and Vietnam, Cambodia is caught between two big rivals, that is Vietnam and China. So Vietnam sees Cambodia as an important shield to protect its western border. If China has strong influence in Cambodia, as for instance during the time of the Khmer Rouge in the late 1970s, this could pose a threat to Vietnam. And if China managed to control South China Sea, then eventually Vietnam can be encircled by China as a whole. And this is a danger to Vietnam for its survival vis-à-vis China. So in the end, Cambodia is caught in the strategic interests of three major powers, that is Vietnam, Belarus, China, and America and its allies. It's no good for Cambodia. It is pursuing a policy of balancing off one power against another, as in the past. But that kind of policy failed in the past, and Cambodia has suffered a lot from the failure of this balancing off policy in the past. It's not quite sure whether the same strategy, the same policy of balancing off one power against another can secure security for Cambodia. Probably as in the past, Cambodia could well be sucked in the conflicts between the powers, different powers in this region, as it was sucked in the Vietnam War in the 1970s, and wider conflicts beyond the region. It's no good for Cambodia. So it seems that based on our history, Cambodia, to avoid being sucked in eventually the conflicts between those powers, needed to pursue the policy of permanent neutrality as has been agreed upon in the Paris Peace Agreement, as well as has been enshrined in the Cambodia's Constitution of 1993. Cambodia need to Cambodia need to learn from lessons of its own history. Cambodia itself and other countries, especially those who were signatories and still are signatories to the Paris Peace Agreement of 1991, realized that Cambodia cannot afford to side with any power in the region and beyond. Cambodia, to be secure, needs to pursue a policy of permanent neutrality. So, to conclude, in the present Asia, it would be safe for Cambodia to stick to its permanent neutrality rather than trying to playing off or balancing off one power against another and take advantage from each of those powers. It's no good, you see. In those conflicts, we can tell that Cambodia can tell to those concerned countries. Cambodia is friends to all countries, is friend to China, is friend to Vietnam, friend to Japan, friend to America, it is a friend to India and all over the country. Cambodia should try to get all those concerned countries in this geostrategy to help strengthen Cambodia's permanent neutrality. Thank you.